Welcome to our Getting to Know Canva series, specifically for travel advisors, part 2. In this episode, we will be diving into more content for your social media platforms. And today I would like to show you guys how to take one piece of content and resize it for a different platform so that you are increasing and maximizing your content. So to start off, we are going to do an Instagram post, and we're going to specifically work in a square dimension. So it's a 1x1, 1080 by 1080 regular Instagram square post. And so we have a blank canvas, and like in our last episode, I am going to take a design that is meant for travel and we're going to make it our own. I am going to try to pick the one that stands out to me the most. I really like this New York post, and you see they have different variations on the left hand side, so we'll get to that in a second. But for example, say we wanted to use this and showcase a New York trip maybe. There are some things on here that we want to get rid of. For example, this really great site, because that is not the name of our business. I would also like to show you guys how to upload the logos. You should have the logo files readily available. So we're gonna use the white logo since our text on screen is white. Select that, and it's going to appear in your uploads. Just a tip, if you do not want to continuously upload a logo that you know you'll be using a lot, you can go ahead and create a brand kit, but just be mindful that this is for pro users only. But it's a really good thing to do because you don't have to go searching for the logo on your desktop or in your uploads on Canva. You can also add your brand colors as well, so you're not continuously having to type in the hex number for your brand colors. So I just wanted to give you guys that tip. So moving forward, I'm going to go ahead and add the logo that we uploaded to replace that placeholder that we had there. This is a good starting point, but I wanted to show you guys how to, one, add animation to make it a little bit more dynamic, and two, how to resize it and repurpose it for another platform. So I'm going to add the animation first before we resize, and I want to do it to the text. So the text says New York, but I kind of want to have it pop in somehow, some way. So to do that, I'm going to right click, and I'm going to go over to layers, and I'm going to go to show layers so that we can get a hold of this New York text here. Now that I have the New York text highlighted, I am going to go to the toolbar at the top, and you'll see this animate button here. And this is going to help us move the text that says New York. Now, you can do many things when you come to the animation tab. You can animate the entire page if that's something you want to do. So this is an example here. Or you can just animate the text. So I think I'm just going to animate the text and keep the photos still. So you have many, many options for animation. So let's kind of pick one that, I like this one. Post animation, and it seems like it's a ongoing animation, so it kind of loops. At the bottom here, you have an intensity slider, so you can make it softer, or you can make it like faster and flashing. So let's kind of do it in the middle, and now we have an animation. It was pretty simple. Now that we added an animation to our design, you may see this play button in the upper right hand corner. This indicates that it's now a video, and I'll show you guys how to switch that when we get to the exporting. However, if you would like to change this duration, you will, one, you may have to change the view from thumbnail view to scroll view or from scroll view to thumbnail view. But when you do that, you will see a duration button at the bottom, and then you're able to go ahead and either stretch that out to make it longer or to make it shorter. So that is just a heads up, just in case 5 seconds isn't enough for you, in the event that you would add extra text, give people time to read. I just wanted to let you guys know that. So once you're satisfied with your design, we can go ahead and save our design. And like I told you guys, because we added an animation, it automatically is going to be considered a video now. So when you hit download, you will see the suggested download file type is MP4. If you remember last episode, Andrew and I kind of told you that Canva will automatically suggest what they think is best for the design. So this will be a video if you would want it to be a video, but say you wanted it to be a GIF, you can change this here by just clicking the drop down button and selecting GIF. Is it GIF or GIF? Tell me in the comments. Seriously, tell me in the comments. If you wanted to change it to a GIF, which is a short clip moving graphic with no sound, you would go ahead and select that from the drop down button and download as normal. Did you know that you could resize a design that you've already created and change it to another dimension for another platform? How do you do that? Now, this is a pro feature, but you have this resize button in the upper left hand corner. You see it does have the crown next to it, which lets you know that it is a pro feature, but it's very much worth it. It helps you save time in the end. So personally, I think it's worth it. You can go ahead and we can go to social media and we can just select Instagram story, and you can either copy and resize, or you can just resize this design that's right in front of you. So copy and resize means that this is going to duplicate this project and then resize it for you. So this one will remain untouched, but resizing this design means that it's going to take the one that we're working on now and change it to the size that we want it to. So I'm just going to resize this design since we saved it already. And it's going to ask you one time again before you go ahead and decide if you want to mess it up. It's going to ask you, are you sure you want to resize? So I'm going to click that, and what we have here might look a little wonky because it's now out of proportion. It was originally square, so we might have to move some things around a little bit. If you feel like you're a beginner, you can again do the right click in the layers so you can kind of have an idea of what layers are present, what elements are there. So I can clearly see that there's a gradient, and the gradient was originally at the bottom of the square. So we're just going to drag that to the bottom. It just takes a little drag and drop, nothing too serious. And then this photo here is the main photo in the middle. So we might have to just do a little sizing up with the photo in the back and just stretch that out. I always use the bottom of the design as a guide so I can know where the photo should stop. And then we're just gonna resize it until everything matches. Looking good already. And then I'm gonna take our logo that we used to replace the placeholder, and then we have this United States of America, just line that up at the bottom there. And then we have these 3 individual squares, they seem to be. So I'm gonna take the layer tab and show all layers one more time. And let's see if I can select all of them at the same time. So yes, you can. So what I did was I held down Command and I clicked on each one. I am on a Mac. If you're on a PC or a Windows operating system, you would hit Control, and then you would select these 3 dots that's making up this little line here. And so because those are selected, I'm gonna group them and just drag them down because they were sitting on top of the United States of America. And I'm gonna kind of move the text for New York a little bit since it was more for that square ratio, and we have a story going on. So I'm just gonna make it a tiny bit bigger and line it up how it was originally, kind of sitting on the horizon that they have in this photo. And now we have a Instagram story that all we had to really do was kind of just drag some things into place, and we didn't have to start from scratch. After we finally save and we hit play, this is what our design looks like for our story. And when we save as a GIF, it may take a little while, so be patient. This is what it looks like. All right, and that is how you take a regular static post and add some animation. You took it from one platform and you resized it for another platform, and we exported it as 2 different file formats. As we know, Canva is a great tool whether you are starting from scratch or using templates. However, make sure to implement best practices like making templates your own, using your own images, and always adding cruisitude. As always, I hope this was very helpful for you guys. If you have any questions, comments, or anything you want to see, make sure you put it down below to include it in our upcoming episodes. See you next time.